Meta reported better than expected earnings yesterday, announcing double-digit growth for the first time since 2021. And Meta CEO Mark Zuckerberg touted the launch of Instagram Threads as an area for excitement as competition with Elon Musk's Twitter or X platform undergoes a major rebrand.
On Threads, briefly, I'm quite optimistic about our trajectory here. We saw unprecedented growth out of the gate, and more importantly, we're seeing more people coming back daily than I'd expected. And now we're focused on retention and improving the basics, and then after that, we'll focus on growing the community to the scale that we think is going to be possible. Only after that are we going to focus on monetization.
So joining us now is Barton Crockett, Rosenblatt Securities senior analyst. As Zuckerberg pointed out at the end, they're not planning on monetizing this for a long time. I think he said until they're on a run rate to 1 billion users. So that's not where the money's coming from. But there was a serious jump in the ad revenue, Barton. What happened?
Yeah. Well, I think what we're seeing is that the ad market's recovering, which is amazing to me given where interest rates are. If you would have told me that we would have had this much kind of headwind macro-wise and they'd be putting up this type of ad growth, I would have struggled to believe you. But they were up 12% constant currency in the June quarter, and they're pacing for 20% plus or minus constant currency growth in the September quarter. They're also doing innovation. You know, Threads is not driving revenues right now, but Reels is 10 billion kind of revenue annualized versus 3 billion in the year ago. They've got this click-to-messaging product that was pacing, over 10 billion annualized of new revenue, and a core element of that's up 80%. So, but online commerce advertisers are coming in, and so are advertisers in media and entertainment and consumer products goods companies. Chinese kind of commerce advertising on Meta to sell products out of China into other countries. That all speaks to a consumer that's spending. Digital gaming is back. Things are happening that are amazing in terms of the macro.
Why isn't that playing out for platforms like Snap, platforms like Twitter? If things are so great, how come we're not seeing it other places?
So for Snap and for the smaller platforms, part of what we're seeing is that it's great to be big in this environment. So big allows you to invest at scale in refashioning your ad platform, which everyone has had to do after Apple's app tracking transparency efforts a couple of years ago. And AI takes a lot of investment, and Snap's P&L couldn't absorb that without some hit on EBITDA. Meta, on the other hand, is not only able to absorb that, but they've got a 40% drag on operating profit this year in our model from reality. So making a ton of money, throwing a lot of money at things that are very much beyond the scale of the smaller players like a Snap.
So if you're not investing now, you're not going to be able to keep pace?
I think you have to make these investments. And I think in this environment, fortune favors the big. And AI ad platform kind of re-engineering takes capital. And clearly Meta can absorb that much more comfortably than someone like Snap right now.
Hey, Barton, if you're looking at what happened to the metaverse, is that just kind of stuffed away in the attic or something at this point?
Look, I think they're going to come out with a new headset, the Oculus 3, in late September. I think that Mark, is a believer. They're going to be upping investment. It's a really big kind of deficit in a P&L, and I think that really he should rethink this. I think that he can absolutely pursue reality, but he should do that through a separate company. And if he did, he'd unlock huge shareholder value. If he just changed the capital structure, it doesn't have to do anything in terms of his aspirations. He doesn't indicate any interest in doing that, but if he did, his shareholders would be richly rewarded.
It's funny because when you were just talking about how you have to be big and you have to be able to invest, I was just thinking, what does Elon Musk do with Twitter? Because I can't imagine he wants to dump more of his own money into that at this point. Think he ever combines that into Tesla like he did with the solar company at some point? How does he get more money to invest in these things?
Yeah, look, it's a head scratcher, and a lot of steps there I think are not what I would be my first idea to change the brand to X from Twitter, to go through all of this disruption to the revenue kind of sales call to advertisers. So head scratcher, it's not public anymore. Don't cover it anymore. So it's Elon's, plaything. And the way he's playing with it is a little bit baffling to me, but we'll see how it works out.
And just to clarify, on Meta, you have a buy rating, a $372 price target. Stock's at $327 right now?
Correct.